Hey guys, Chaps here, and welcome to the second section of our Horde strategy guide. In this video, we'll be talking about some of the more advanced tips and tricks to help you more easily complete some Horde runs. Also, being that there's so much content to cover, this is only going to be part 1. I'll be making a part 2 of this video available shortly. Horde is just such a complex part of this game, and it's hard to fit all the info into such short videos. If you missed the Horde Basics guide, be sure to check that out. It's linked below. Let's begin with what is probably the most helpful advanced strategy out there, letting stuff get destroyed. This is all about upgrading your Fabricator as quickly as possible. As you probably know by now, you get energy back for destroyed fortifications, and repairing stuff doesn't upgrade the Fabricator level. The tactic that I found most useful is using decoys, as they have low health and attract lots of damage, making for the fastest return on investment. Traditionally, as an engineer, I'll buy as many decoys as I can mid-round and start stacking them up. Then, between rounds, I place them out in the open, but all grouped together for a better chance of splash damage. With all these decoys out there, I'm not going to worry about repairing them. Just let them get destroyed, and sometimes we even just sit there and let a tracker or juvie grind away at them. When the decoy dies, your scout can run out there and grab the energy, and then the process repeats. Here is a chart to show why this is useful. The blue line here represents how much energy your Fabricator thinks that you're spending. The red line shows how much you're really spending. As you can see, both lines go up the same amount, but then the decoy gets destroyed and you get money back. So let's drop the red line down a bit. This process repeats over and over again, and what you end up finding is that while you've spent a ton of energy at the Fabricator, a decent portion of that energy comes right back to you again. Let's take a look at some numbers. As an engineer, running decoy cost and overall cost, the decoys will cost you this much to build. Once it gets destroyed, you'll get this much back. Have a scout pick it up and deposit, and you get the 1.5 deposit boost. So while your Fabricator really thinks you've spent this much, you're really only spending a fraction of that. With this method, you should fairly easily be able to hit Fabricator level 4 by wave 20, which makes a huge difference. After you hit level 4 Fabricator though, there's not really much of a point in wasting energy with this technique. The next tip I wanted to talk about is about using your turret and your controller efficiently. This is an incredibly small change, but it makes a huge difference. If you don't have an elite controller, then sorry, this isn't going to help you at all. But I would highly recommend getting one because they're pretty awesome. If you do have one, you probably know about the little switch that lets you change control schemes. Personally, I play with 2 paddles, A and B as shown here, and when I play Horde, I hit my little toggle in the middle to switch over to my turret control scheme. All this does is switch my left paddle. Instead of being for B, it's now mapped to RB. Why do this? Well, if you're on a turret, then you're constantly going to be wanting to cool it off, right? Being able to use the paddle to cool this turret is a much more natural feel than some of the other options. Some will use the middle finger for the trigger and index finger for the bumper. Some switch back and forth between the bumper and the trigger, though this is much slower. Like I said, this is a small change, but once you get used to it, it's really nice to optimize the turret. Anytime you're not shooting, you're automatically cooling down. There's no time moving your finger, and your finger doesn't get tired switching back and forth. Now, let's talk about utilizing the free death that you get each round. Hopefully, your squad's good enough that they're not dying too much. But being that you get one free revive each round, you might as well take advantage of this. Over time, if you don't die, you could build up quite a lot of energy. Instead of depositing it, you could instead die, and have your scout pick it up. The scout's not going to get the double bonus, but they will get the 1.5x deposit bonus. So a lot of people know about this, but here's a little trick for it that you may not have known. Oftentimes, you'll find yourself stuck with a weapon that you don't want to lose by dying, or you don't have a way of killing yourself. Well, here's the solution. The weapons locker. We discovered that you can shoot a drop shot in the air and then put the weapon back in the locker, and you'll be able to kill yourself and keep your weapons with the locker. Of course, you can do this whenever you want, but I'd suggest just doing it near the end of the round if nobody has died yet, as then you can use that as your one free revive for the round. There is one special case where you can get multiple free revives though, and that is wave 0. Right before you deploy the Fabricator for the first time, just have your soldier and heavies kill themselves. Then the scout can pick up the money for the bonus. When you deploy the Fabricator, wave 1 begins, so everyone spawns back in. It's essentially like nothing happened, but you gained some free energy. Also, I wanted to make a quick note that while this can be helpful at times, it also hurts your score. It doesn't hurt your energy, but it hurts your score. So this should be avoided when possible if you're going for high score runs. Lastly, I've got a couple other small tips for you. First, for bonus objective waves, I would ignore the execution style waves. The timed waves, the survive waves, turret kills, headshot waves, they're fairly simple for you to get, and the money really pays off. The second tip is for those looking to grind out credits or XP. Don't forget that there's a consecutive wave bonus. Failing a wave ruins this bonus, and it has a huge impact on the total credits and XP earned. Along with that, Insane Horde is your best bet for getting credits. Even with the hardcore developer playlist giving 20% more credits, an Insane Horde run will still give you more. And the last little tip is a little plug. If you're going for credits or XP, be sure to check out my first Chaps Math video, where I explain which bounty to use and why. Alrighty, that's gonna do it for this video. As I said, there's way too much to cover, so I just broke this down into 2 videos. Be sure to be on the lookout for the next one. Additionally, if you have any other Horde topics, or topics in general that you'd like me to cover, or if you have any questions, just let me know. As always, likes and subs are appreciated. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, and check our website for even more content. And until next time, thanks for watching.